A court in Nigeria's capital, Abuja, on Monday discharged 4 out of 6 protesters arrested in November for demonstrating outside the National Assembly. The 6 defendants were arrested on November the 8th, 2020, and charged with unlawful assembly. Defense lawyer Henry Akwaji requested the case be dismissed because the prosecution team was absent from the court on Monday. The court agreed and dismissed the case due to a lack of diligent prosecution. The remaining 2, Yasida Bashiru and Kabiru Ghazali, were absent from the court due to illness. The case against them was adjourned until 24th March. The chairman of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, retired Brigadier General Mohammed Marwa, has ordered the state commanders of the agency to mop up illicit drugs across the country. He also hinted that the agency will seek government's approval to conduct drug tests on students of tertiary institutions, security personnel, and newly appointed government employees. Marwa said this during a meeting with commanders of the 36 states, Federal Capital Territory, and special commands at the agency's headquarters in Abuja on Monday. The new NDLEA chairman also promised some overhauling in the agency, saying this would reposition the agency and make it more purposeful, resourceful, and aggressive in pursuing its targets. The federal government has warned it will shut down the National Youth Service Corps NYSC orientation camp in states that fail to comply with all COVID-19 protocols. Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Sunday Dari, gave the warning during the Presidential Task Force, PTF, on COVID-19. According to him, the NYSC would not allow youths be endangered, adding that those already deployed to any state affected will be redeployed to other places. 731 members of Batch B Corps members had tested positive for COVID-19. The PTF had conducted the testing of Batch B Corps members using RDTs, and out of the 35,419 in each Batch B, 731 tested positive compared to 108 recorded during the Batch A. 765 members of the current stream of Corps members out of the over 22,000 cases tested were confirmed positive. Coming up in a moment after the break, Senate opens 2-day public hearing on petroleum industry bill. Details in a moment.
Split seconds. There is a lot happening around us, but we can't be everywhere all the time. We've got work, families, and chores to cater to, and most importantly, time to rest. And that's why having a reliable partner like KUFM News is important. Sleeping? We don't. We work round the clock, bringing you stories as they break from Nigeria and across the world. We would stop at nothing to keep you informed, because KUFM News is all about you and stories that affect you. Politics, business, human interests, sports, entertainment, just name it. We've got you covered. KUFM News. Timely, precise, spot on.
Welcome back. Still in the news, the Senate on Monday commenced a 2-day public hearing on the petroleum industry bill. The PIB has lingered in the National Assembly for nearly 20 years, with previous assemblies failing to pass the critical legislation. But Senate President Ahmed Lawan assured that the PIB will be passed in the first quarter of this year. While assuring of a quick passage of the PIB, Senator Lawan warned that all stakeholders must play their roles to make it a reality. He said the lack of passage of the PIB is linked to inadequate consultation of necessary stakeholders. Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde has said governors of the Southwest on Monday agreed to ban all forms of open grazing in the region. According to him, the decision was taken on Monday when the governors met with the leadership of the Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria, as well as security chiefs. Some of the governors in attendance include Rotimi Akeredolu of Ondo State, Boyega Oyetola of Osun State, Kayode Fayemi of Ekiti State, Mohammed Abubakar of Jigawa State, and Abubakar Bagudu of Kebbi State. Giving a report after the meeting, Makinde in a tweet said, collectively, the governors have resolved to ban open grazing in all parts of the Southwest. He also added that governors will work with its people to face their common enemies, namely the criminals, kidnappers, and robbers and bandits. KUFM had earlier reported that Ondo State Governor Rotimi Akeredolu on January 18, 2021, ordered herdsmen to leave Ondo Forest Reserves within 7 days following incidents of kidnapping attributed to Fulani herders. Meanwhile, violence had erupted in Iganga, Ibarapa on Friday when a popular Yoruba rights activist, Sunday Adeyemo, well known as Sunday Igboho, alongside his followers, stormed the Fulani settlement in the ancient town to eject Seriki Fulani, Salihu Abdukadir, and herdsmen accused of perpetrating crimes ranging from kidnappings, killings, rape, to invasion of farmlands with the cattle. The Oyo State Police Command says it received a report that hoodlums loaded in a bus and taxi came to set ablaze the house of Chief Sunday Adeyemo, also known as Igboho. The police public relations officer in the state, Olugbenga Fadeyi, said this in a statement on Tuesday. Fadeyi also said the police were told that the arsonist shot in the air several times as they put fire to the house located at the Soka area of Ibadan. He said the police had begun an investigation into the incident. The house was said to have been burnt around 3 a.m. on Tuesday after the power supply to the area was cut off. Coming up in a moment on our entertainment news, exhibitors name Omogeto as the highest gross Nollywood movie of all time. Stay tuned. Still on to Newsbreak on K9 2.7 FM, Benin City. On entertainment, the 2020 comedy film Omogeto has officially broken a 4-year record by knocking off Kemi Adetiba's 2016 comedy, The Wedding Party. The movie has been Nollywood's highest grossing movie with 453 million naira. According to Cinema Exhibitors Association of Nigeria, CIAN, the 2020 comedy film has so far grossed 468,036,300 naira after holding the #1 spot for its 3rd week in a row. In the 3rd place is The Wedding Party 2 with 433,197,377 naira. The Bellows' latest feat is probably the most shocking news in recent times, as it comes amid a pandemic and crippled the film industry for months. Released on Christmas Day 2020, the movie, which is a sequel to 2010 trilogy Omogeto, follows the chaotic life of Shalewa, also known as Lefty, played by Funke Akindele. Lefty struggles between living a life of wealth and comfort provided by her adopted mother or returning to her ghetto lifestyle. The comedy stars Akindele in the dual role of Ayomide and Lefty. Tinamba Adebayo Salami, a.k.a. Ogabelo, Chioma Akpota, Bimbo Thomas, Eniola Badmos, Deyemi Okonlao, Zubi Michael, Mercy Aigbe, Timini Egbuson, Alex Ekubo, among others. And in sports, LeBron James becomes oldest LA Lakers player to score 40 points since Kobe Bryant's death. This and more on our sports bulletin shortly.
Good morning. LeBron James became the oldest LA Lakers player to score 40 points in a game since Kobe Bryant's farewell appearance in 2016 as the Lakers beat the Cleveland Cavaliers 115 to 108 points. The 36-year-old, playing on the eve of the first anniversary of Bryant's death, scored 46 points and added 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals and 2 blocks. It was the second highest total as a Laker and the most against his first NBA team. James, playing for the second time in Cleveland since he switched to the Lakers in 2018, scored 13 points in the final 4 minutes and 41 seconds and helped the Lakers pull away and claim the 10th win out of 10 on the road this season. They play in Philadelphia, Bryant's birthplace, on Wednesday in what will be an emotional occasion. Anthony Davis had 17 points and 10 rebounds for the Lakers, while Montrezl Harrell scored 15 off the bench. For the Cavaliers, Andre Drummond contributed 25 points and 17 rebounds, while Cedi Osman scored 20 points and Colin Sexton finished with 17. Elsewhere, Malcolm Brogdon scored 19 of his 36 points in the second half as the Indiana Pacers beat the Toronto Raptors 129 to 114 points. Stephen Curry scored a game-high 36 points as the Golden State Warriors trashed the Minnesota Timberwolves 130 to 108 points, overshadowing Andrew Wiggins' reunion with his former side. The Brooklyn Nets pulled away in the final minutes for a 98 to 85 points victory over the Miami Heat, while Michael Porter Jr. scored 30 points and Nikola Jokic added 20 points and 10 rebounds as the Denver Nuggets beat the Dallas Mavericks 117 to 113 points. And finally, former PSG and Borussia Dortmund trainer Thomas Tuchel is set to replace Frank Lampard as Chelsea new manager after Roman Abramovich made the difficult decision to sack the Blues legend following a disappointing run of form. The German will be the 13th different coach at Stamford Bridge since the Russian billionaire took over the Premier League club in 2003. He will join Chelsea after a short period of unemployment, having been relieved of his duties at Paris Saint-Germain just before the new year. Tuchel spent 2.5 trophy-laden years at PSG, and his record with the Ligue 1 outfit is impressive. In all, he won 6 trophies with the Parisians, including 2 Ligue 1 titles, the Coupe de France, Coupe de la Ligue, and 2 trophies, the champions. And that's it from sports. My name is Egusa Agbeka, and back to you, Benjamin.
Thank you very much, Egusa, and it's quite sad to see that Lampard had to get the boot.
Yeah, so unfortunate, but I think some of the mistakes he made and some of the tactics he was applying wasn't really giving him the needed results. But he stuck to these tactics, and that's really affected them. They brought in some quality players, injected star players into the team, costing them over £200 million, and you wouldn't spend that amount of money and not get a result. So that fits. Well, okay, it's finding it difficult to manage the new guys, and they are finding it difficult to adapt, to settle in very well at Stamford Bridge, unlike what Bruno Fernandes is doing at Manchester United, journey from Sporting Lisbon and fitting in seamlessly as if he has been with the team for over a decade. But for Lampard, though he gave the youngsters, especially the English youngsters, the opportunity, to improve and give them some game time, but that is not what you expect when you are working for Roman Abramovich. He's ruthless when it comes to sacking. So as a legend, he knew that this will happen because he was a player when so many managers were fired while he was playing. So that is what is happening at Stamford Bridge. No results, please the exit now.
Okay, let's see if Thomas Tuchel provides what is needed. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And that's the news. But before we go, a quick recap of the headlines. Edo Governorship Election Tribunal adjourns sitting to February 9th for final addresses. 17 persons undergo community service for violating COVID-19 prevention protocol in Edo State. Hoodlums set ablaze Igboho's house. Do remember that the continued unity of Nigeria is a collective responsibility. Be sure to play your part. Do not forget, you can listen to us anywhere in the world by visiting our website at kufm.net or download our mobile app from the Google Play Store. We're also live on YouTube at KUFM Nigeria, and you can also listen to us on radiogarden.com. KUFM Newsbreak was produced by Nusakai Uwadai. I am Benjamin Kadiri.